Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Holly from Linda Dawson. Now, at the time of this recording, uh, it is the beginning of December. I actually started a monthly challenge that I called Festivus Tanglus 2022. And if you're interested, go to my website, tangleaddicts.com. There should be a menu item that says that, and that's where the blog posts go. Sign up for my blog, and oh, well, that's not a very good pen. And you will then receive the the information as it comes out. I don't do a list ahead of time like I know on some of the other challenges. They do that. Hey, this is like Christmas, so um, it's just a surprise. I do send the blog posts out a day ahead, so that way you can enjoy the whole day. That's kind of how I do my daily tangle. This fits in right in with my daily tangle anyway. So, anyway, if you're interested, so that's why we're doing Holly. This is a neat grid pattern, although I'm trying to think. It seems, and I'm not looking at it. It seems like on Linda's sample, there might have been a way that she used it as a ribbon border, and I do remember. I'm pretty sure that she did because, well, you just have to take a look and see. All right. So again, this is a grid pattern, uh, and I'm gonna just do one box to start off with, and I'm going to do this one differently because the sample that I am going to share with you does it a different way. So that's what I'm doing because I want to see what this looks like, and then you will see what this looks like. All right. So it starts off whatever your grid is, diagonal line all the way across. Then we're going to do the same thing on both sides, but from here. No, let me show you. I'll show you first, and then there was a tip from my friend Diane that I thought worked really well. Um, so we're going to do a curve line coming up towards the middle, and then, curve line back down. And there's actually probably three ways you can do this. So one is curve line like that. Then you could probably do that in one stroke if you wanted to, if you're good. Or you can split it up like I just did. Now, my friend Diane said, she's like, here's what I did. She put a little dot, so kind of in the center of this triangular section, and then put the curve line up to it, and then going back down. So there's two ideas for you. Well, three. The one was, you can do it in one stroke if you wish. All right. Then in the empty corners, we're just going to put an orb. So this is really, it's a fragment is what it is. And so this is the tangle. The tangle is the fragment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around basically repeating what I just did. It's totally the rinse and repeat idea. And usually I turn my tile so that way I get a nice curve that goes with the hand, because you plant your hand, the heel of your hand down, right? And then you get that natural curve. That one time I just didn't. See, what happens is, if this is one way to do it. I turn my tile, and then I'm going the same direction with my diagonal line, and then everything else, it's all the same. And like I said, I will show you some other options on this. And you could, if you'd rather start from that center and go out like that, because I know some people draw towards them, some draw away from them. I do a combination. It just depends on apparently the day or the tangle. And I've put a little curve in some of these lines, and that's kind of fun too. I'm just a big proponent of there are, well, I don't like the saying, but there's more than one way to solve that problem. All right. And there we go. It's kind of like a basket of holly. And so then you can have fun with shading, filling in, you know, it's all up to you. Actually, just because this is somewhat bothering me ish, I'm just going to fill that in. There we go. If those orbs were a little more symmetrical, that would be nice, but that's sometimes it's too much to ask. And this is Zentangle. It's all good. Ways that you can shade this. Mostly I colored in, but you know what I'm going to do? Ooh, oh, and look at what's neat. Outside of the name is Holly, it does resemble Holly. This creates a really neat meta pattern right here inside. But what I'm going to do first, I'm putting some graphite on the ends of these, thinking about it like I would like a seed, because this is how I would typically shade a seed shape, and this is kind of a seed shape, right? It's just kind of pointy. Right. Oh yes. I say, oh yes, as I look at that's when I look in the camera and see what it looks like there. I don't like these. There we go. Oh, that's better. I don't like to see a harsh-ish line. I like the gradient to, blend from dark into the natural, into the tile color smoothly. And so I'm going real light just to, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. It looks, if you've never tried it, take a picture of your work sometimes, because it does oddly look different, in person versus what you see on the camera. And like I said, it is just neat. So that's cool. And I was thinking about shading underneath. But what if I just did this? Oh, and a little farther away. Okay, I'm just going to try that. You see, I left that little gap there. Oh, so that's interesting. And since I done it on one, do it on the others. And so I'm just doing this corner because I didn't want it. I didn't want it to the graphite to kind of get blurred in with what's on the holly leaf, and at the same time, I want to kind of highlight those, and I suppose it kind of is because, oh sorry, they look a little shiny. See, and then that makes them like raise up a little bit. All right, so then let's do it on the outside too. And keeping just that little bit of distance away and not having it right, right on the line makes a little bit of a difference. It helps with that looking like it's raised up. So it's kind of bowed and raised. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. And then for these little guys, I am just going to put a little, I like to call it a swoosh mark. because in my head that's what I hear when I do it. So just a little C shape of graphite. Just adds a little something. And then just because I have it handy. And if you don't have, this is a great thing to add to your Tangle toolkit, a jelly roll number 10. Because the 10 is nice and juicy. And see how it just made that little bit of difference on those. Just a dot. Just a dot. Or maybe a little bit of a line. Just a tad. It's so neat. What a what a cool tangle. All right, so this I hadn't tried it this way, just in a 4 square. But here is, this was the way I was going to do it, and then I changed my mind quickly. Whoops. Look at that. Angled. I have my camera angled so that way I can draw and it's not too weird, but then when I go to look, and then, okay, there we go. All right, so I did a class not too long ago. I called it festive tangling, and I for the class I have a gosh, we could call it a booklet because it's like 7 pages now, with step outs of different tangles that lend themselves to the holiday season. And so this was a sample from the class. I used the metallic jelly roll pens for this and just colored in so that, well, okay. So there was no shading on that. I think this set off the automatic whatever of this camera. So bizarre. We'll put you over here. Okay. All right. That's maybe better. And then here did it in a 16 square grid. And again, note the little dot of white and how cool it makes it look. Actually, I was going to add some, on the leaves, and that will make it look even neater. Let's see, just so that way I can show. They're not as filled in as I would like. I was just using colored pencil, and I was just playing around too. But see, it just makes it a little juicy. And I've been finding sometimes it doesn't necessarily matter where you put the little mark. Sometimes. I said I was just going to do one. Right. Because I have some white kind of, like I said, they're not fully colored and it's not solid, but you get the idea. So that's what it looks like on a bigger, a grid with more squares. It's not necessarily bigger. It's just a grid with more squares. Actually, that makes the tangle smaller, right? So anyway, whichever way you slice it, it's a neat tangle, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click like, and if you enjoy my goofy style, for lack of a better way to say it, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section. You will find links to the step outs there. I always do my own version, and then a link to the originator of the tangle, to their step out or blog post, or wherever I found it. And below that, ways to connect with me. So there, the link to my website is there. Also, if you happen to be on Facebook, we would love to have you join in on our group. It's a private group, and I do have a couple required questions to be accepted into that group. Nothing major, but it's helpful to have those. What else do I want to tell you? I guess that's it. But do check out my blog post. Would love it if you subscribe to that as well, and you will get the daily prompt for Festivus Tangulus. can have fun right along with us. All right, so with that, thanks so much. Oh, no, I did forget to mention. So I mentioned that we did this in a class. This was a class that I had a fee for. I also do online sessions that are free. That information is on my my website. So check it out. We have a lot of fun and create amazing stuff. So would love to have you. All right. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.